What's up, everybody? Happy Halloween! 8 weeks in the season, Halloween finally gets here. It's a little more than halfway. Basically, one of my favorite times of the year. I get to make a fun video. Last year was pretty fun. You know, had Michael Myers show up and kill me. That was a blast. I couldn't get Michael to come back out this year. He's busy. He's got stuff going on, so gonna have to just deal with just me this year. No special guests or anything like that. So, without further ado, let's get into Week 8 stats here. Let's just start off with the trophies, and I'll go into the standings, go over a couple things. I'll try to make it fast, all right? High score of the week this week, the Alley Cat. Good old Al with 143.9 points. Pretty good. Low score of the week this year. First time, I believe, this year happened to this good man. Mr. Joe with 57.9 points. Yeah, not looking good for Joe there. I think it's 2 weeks in a row Joe hasn't had the greatest of games. Highest scoring player, look at that. The guy who's highest score of the week also has the highest scoring player. How many times has that happened? It's Al, with his boy Tom Brady throwing up a 37.5 over in London. 304 passing yards and 4 touchdowns. According to Adolfo, in the message board, which made me laugh, figure I mention it, put a little asterisk here telling me to remember to talk about it, was he said Tom Brady went into unicorn mode. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. So, I mean, who doesn't like a unicorn, you know? And Hot Bench of the Week also goes to Joe with 64.9 points on the bench. Yeah, so look at that. It seems to keep going hand in hand that every week the guy who gets the high score and highest scoring player and the guy who gets the low score and the hot bench are the two same people. It's weird. Also, I put another asterisk here next to the hot bench of the week that it should have been me getting the hot bench. I had 97.3 points on my bench and like 96 point something that my actual team scored. I had a couple guys on my bench just go off, and it was huge mistakes. I tried getting cute and playing, you know, different guys, and it did not work, to put it simply. I managed to win, but I believe that's just, I just got lucky. Pure friggin' luck. It doesn't even feel like a clean win. But, you know, the fantasy football gods, they give you, you know, that one mulligan a year, and I think that was mine. So I know I ain't getting another. So, on to the standings. Standings, or whatever. Okay. The Good Guys division. Al, 5-3, 854.3 points scored, first place. I'm also tied in first place with Al with also a 5-3 record, 832.1 points. Joe's coming in at third with a 4-4 with 866.6 points, more points than me and Al, but he's in third. That's how it goes. Beef coming up in fourth with a 3-5 record, starting to climb back up there. 770.1 points, and Danny in fifth in our division with a 0-8 record, 573.3 points. Curse is real. Bad Guys division. Steve still in first place, but with another loss on his record this week by hairs of a point. Steve 6-2 with 885.2 points scored. Most points. Oh no, I'm sorry. I was going to say most points, but that's not true. Second place in the division is Kenny with a 5-3 record, 776.1 points. He beat Danny this week. It looked like Danny had him, and somehow Kenny came back and managed to win by 0.3 of a point. Gotta love those fractional points. It would have been a tie otherwise. So, Adolfo, the guy who actually does have the most points in the league, he's in third place in that division with a 4-4 record, 895.5 points. Damn. That's the most points in the league, but he's in third place. That's a tough division. Rick coming up also, he basically tied for 4th place with a 4-4 record as well. 887.7 points, also more points than Al, who's in 1st place in the other division. It's crazy division, you bad guys. And Aaron, also with a 4-4 record, 862.3 points, also more points. The last place guy in this division has more points than the 1st place guy in ours. Crazy. Do not want to play you guys in the playoffs. So we got 3 guys in the other division tied 4-4, 3rd, 4th, and 5th place. That's going to get real tight next week. Speaking of divisions, that bad guys division, it is crazy. The standings over there, they're changing every week. Like last week, there was I think Rick was in 2nd, now he's in 4th, and it's all over the place in that division. I mean, but the general consensus is that everybody in that division seems to be catching up with Steve, at least the way it looks. Yeah, catching up with you, Steve. Only 1 win behind. Kenny, if he could win another week, he'd tie you up, and if you lose another week, that is too. Catching up with the champ. Catching up with him. What else do I want to go over? Yes, the playoffs. How does everybody want them to work? Because as of right now, the way it's working, me and Rick checked it out and tested it. The 2 teams from each division that are in 1st place, those 2 teams get the bye week, and they're automatically in the playoffs. Now, after that, the way ESPN's got it right now, unless I manually change things, the way ESPN's got it right now is that whoever has the most wins in each division gets into the playoffs. Whoever has more wins, you make the playoffs. But it's not divisional. It's not like the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd place teams in each division are getting in the way ESPN has it now. It's like me and Rick checked it out. Like right now, if the playoffs happened right now, me and Al would get into the playoffs, but then so would Steve, Ken, Adolfo, and Rick. 4 guys from the other division. You see what I'm saying here? So it's like we'd only have 2 from one division, 4 from another, instead of being 3 and 3. So do you guys want me to change it so basically the top 3 from each division gets in, or do you want to leave it the way it is, where most wins, and if it comes down, if you're tied up in wins, then points scored gets you in. So how do you guys want me to do it? We got to figure it out now. There's a few weeks left, and stuff is getting crazy before, and it's anybody's game still at this point. You never know. So we got to figure that out now. I'm going to put a message post the message board about it. Also, Rick wanted me to go over this. And I could agree, so I can't. The trade shit. Danny's having fire sale, and he's got a crazy trade up right now. Friggin' Rashard Mendenhall for Darren McFadden and Cam Newton. That's crazy ass trade, and it's almost vetoed out right now. So So I don't want to have to do it, but if trades like this keep happening and nobody vetoes them, I will lock shit down. I'm gonna have to do it. Rick told me I should have to do it. I mean, I'm here to make sure everything stays fair and even, and that kind of stuff happening is not fair or even. So, yeah, commish, powers, rule all. But we'll go over this. I'll put a message board post up about that too. So I think that's about all I got. This video is probably gone on way too long. So, yeah, I will catch you guys next week. Happy Halloween.